Hi everyone, it's Frederic and
Christy!
and welcome to
Facebook Live on Conscious
Connected
Connected
Coupling.
Coupling. So before we get started, if you are really serious about taking your relationship to the next level, clearing some stuff, having a reset button pushed on it, taking your energy and your whole entire relationship and the connection that you have to a next level, you can go to connectedcoupling.com. We also have other stuff we're doing. Hi, Soli. We're also doing a lot of other things and giving tons of content and information on our podcast, which is Conscious Connected Coupling Podcast. And you can go on iTunes and ChristyWhitman.com for that as well.
Get some answers to all of your questions on connected coupling with us.
How to create a more connected relationship, and whatever bugaboo areas you have in your relationship, there is a solution for. You don't have to stay stuck in the place of contrast with it and stay in frustration and struggle. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today, and we talk about all the time, is really emotional intelligence, and how each person in a relationship really needs to have their own emotional intelligence. And from that, when you understand what your own emotions are, and that you're not expecting, your husband or your partner to make you happy or be the source of your happiness, or blame them for being the source of your frustration or anger, when you can own your own emotions inside of you and understand that you're the one that has to process your own emotions. After processing your own emotions, then you can communicate what you want and what you need with your partner.
And at the same time, it's creating less drama around all of the reactions. And God knows that we do have many things that make us react, whether it's our children, whether it's a puppy, whether it's mother-in-laws or father-in-laws, or whether it's things that happen throughout the day where we are asked to be somewhere, and we have to verify with each other, if things are good to either miss appointments or not, or things like that.
The daily functioning.
Yes.
So one thing that we get from people when we're coaching them is, well, you can have what you want. Both people can actually have what they want in a relationship. But the first part of that is having healthy communication to understand that you have to release your own emotions and whatever is stuck there, to begin to release that and not come to your partner with this heavy, emotional, dramatic thing, and be able to ask for what you want. And when we tell couples that, to be able to truly ask, not from you need to give me something, but this is what I really would prefer. This is what I would love to experience. What we get back all the time is, well, yeah, but my partner is so controlling. My partner won't allow me to do that. Or my partner isn't understanding like that. We're going to do a show.
Or she or he is not going to listen to what I have to say.
We're going to do a show on what do you do if one person's into working with universal laws like law of attraction, but your partner isn't. We have lots of information on that, so that'll be coming soon. But in the sense of what do you do when someone is controlling, I mean, we both get it. We both used to be very controlling of one another and have very high expectations and hold each other, not seeing each other as Frederic or Christy, but holding each other in these roles of what it means to be wife, what it means to be husband, what it means to be father, mother. And in that place, you come from these roles, and that's where someone's texting me. When you're coming from these roles of how you should be and how you ought to act, you don't get to be that free being that you are. You don't allow choices and options. You don't get to let your own personality and your own desires shine through. So it's really important that you understand that if you're having frustration in yourself, you need to work with your own frustration. We both used to be pretty controlling, and now we're very allowing. And we went through a process of doing that. It's one thing to say, well, stop controlling your partner.
Yeah, how do we do it? Or even how do you figure out that you are, controlling your partner? Even I didn't know that I was doing it by doing what I was doing, which was basically acting as passive as possible. And in that way, in that passive reaction and passive aggressiveness sometimes, yes, I was controlling my partner without knowing it. So it's happened, and how we all react to these situations.
Well, just understand that, like to say, okay, well, just don't control your partner and allow your partner. It's like, okay, there's a lot under there. We do control out of a sense of a behavior, but the behavior, how we speak, how we act or don't act, all of that behavior is coming from an emotion, and that emotion is fear. And so there's a lot of fears that can come up. And as a way of self-protection, as a way of trying to feel safer or more protected in our relationships, we try to control. We try to control the other person so that we feel safe. But as long as you're trying to control something out or someone outside of you, that person has their own mind, their own background, their own, hi, Lamada and Judith, their own, their own agendas, their own reasoning, their own stuff going on. And the only one that we can actually control is ourselves. If you feel you're being controlled from your partner, say, oh, my partner is so controlling. Well, we teach people how to treat us. And so if you've been in a relationship with your partner for a long time, and your response is, well, this person, my partner is so controlling, you in effect have allowed them to control you when you didn't speak up and say what you wanted, when you weren't in touch with your emotions. All of this work, whether it's couples work or individual work, is really owning your own space, your own emotions, and
your
really
own truth.
Yeah, absolutely. So understanding that controlling is not something that's out of your control. Controlling is a behavior that happens from an insecurity, from a fear. And the fears can be numerous as for why it's even showing up. But underneath fear, let's go deeper. Like, let's just go, oh, okay, to stop controlling. Well, look at what the fear is. Why are you controlling? Why is that emotion creating this certain behavior? But underneath the fear is a perspective of lack. Because fear of any kind is created from a lack perspective or a lack mentality. It's where I've done my work for the past 20 years personally and with others for the past, 17 years, is help shifting people from lack to abundance, from a perspective of limitation and roles and drama and struggle and pain into a place where there's choices and options and allowing and love and expansion. Because the bottom line is that the perspectives that we hold, the beliefs that we have, that we're in lack, that I'm not good enough, so this person's going to leave, that's my fear, so I have to control him. That's really where it comes from. Or fearing that you're not going to get what you want in a relationship, and so you dig your heels in, you don't do anything. Or you're very passive, like Frederic was talking about.
Right, so we went through that as a couple ourselves, and doing the work that we did allowed me to realize that, yes, I also was controlling the relationship because I was afraid. I was afraid of losing the relationship. I was afraid of ending up in a separation after our marriage for some reason, and actually the reason is part of my background. So we went through that as well. So I started doing as less as possible so that the relationship wouldn't have any type of turmoil inside, and that didn't help me. It didn't help Christy to figure out who is Frederic, the person, not the husband, not the son of a mother, not the father of the kids. And so yes, that controlling issue was there.
Can I say something? Because like when he was retreating inside of himself out of fear and trying to control himself to be who he was, I was trying to pull this person out and I couldn't find him. So I would feel very lonely in the relationship. Like, I'm by myself here. I'm doing all these things by myself. I'm by myself. I feel like even when we were driving in a car or hanging out together, I'm like, so how you doing? Trying to get some kind of, how was your day today? What's going on? Like,
yeah. And for me, it was I can't let others, and especially my wife, right? I can't let others see what's really inside of me. So I have to put up this wall, and I have to let people see how almost like the better Frederic, right? The better side of Frederic, the perfect
guy.
Frederic. So that's what I had to show. And so, yeah, I did not show it. I wasn't able to really have her experience my true emotions, the true feelings, the stuff that was coming up, whether it was good or bad. It was always neutral.
Yeah, because you weren't even experiencing it.
I wouldn't allow myself to.
Yeah, so how was I going to experience that with
Right.
you? And now that you allow yourself to feel that whoosh of anger or frustration or joy or creativity or whatever it is, now that you're experiencing it within yourself, now he shares it with me, and now our relationship is
way better.
It's, oh my God, better than it's ever been. I'm so grateful. It's like we grow in more love every day. And because we're showing, I'm not afraid to be who I am, and he loves me for that, and he's not afraid to be who he is, and I love him more for that. So the steps really that we took, and we dig deeper into this obviously in the coaching that we do, and you can go to connectedcoupling.com to see the possibility of working together. We're going to be doing a series of online stuff. We also have our podcast, which is on iTunes, consciousconnectedcoupling.com, where we dig a little bit deeper in our shows. But the first one is really accept what is. I mean, when we really look at relationships, one of the laws, the universal laws, the 7 essential laws that I talk about, is the law of allowing. And you have to really come from a place of not necessarily approving or being in a place of settling, but in a place of just looking at what is and being in a place of accepting what is right now, because that's coming from a place of, with the law of sufficiency and abundance, being in a place of satisfaction. Like, I can find the positive aspects of this relationship and start looking for those positive aspects. And in those positive aspects, you'll see more positive aspects coming. But acceptance, really being with what is right here, right now, seeing the relationship the way it is, even the contrast that happens, that contrast can give birth to so much clarity about what you want, what you need, what you want to experience. So that's the first step.
And that, when you're accepting like that, it also allows you to be in the moment and to be present. Yes. with your partner, and really listen to what's going on, and feel your partner, how she or he is feeling, and the reasons behind that. So just stop and listen and be present, and no need to change anything right now, transform anything.
Well, first and foremost is you can't feel your husband. Like, you can't feel your partner, no, right? I mean, I can't get inside of you and go, oh, this is how I'm feeling, you know? It's like he has his feelings. We might have the same feeling. We might have the same experience of joy, but both of us are going to feel that joy differently. My joy is like, wah! You know, like, yeah! I'm like I'm excited, right? Like, that's how I feel my joy.
And that's it. I let you, right? I listen. I'm there to experience when you're in a space of joyful and woohoo, and I'm not in that space. I'm in another space, but I'm giving her that space.
But even when we're both in a place of joyful, what comes out of you and how you experience joy is very different. It doesn't look the same. So even in emotion, whatever the vibration is, whether it's love or frustration or anger, when I'm angry, I'm raw. Like, I call the kids, I'm like, I'm about to Hulk out right now. I mean, I'm going to go green, I'm going to become big, and I'm going to go, you know, him.
Oh, she feels anger.
That is one emotion I was allowed to feel when I was a child, so I have mastered it. And I also know how to release it so that I am done with it after I feel it. But Frederic feels it in a different way. He goes more within, and he doesn't yell or become a Hulk, right? He experiences it in a different way.
Yeah. It's in my head, in my body, actually. So when I'm angry, I have to, let it out in my body. Go to the gym, do some exercise, do some boxing, clear it out from my body. It's not necessarily clearing out from what I need to say.
And me, I'm like, that.
She needs to talk.
And then I'm fine. So, but the point is that we have to each allow ourselves to feel the way we feel, how to process how we feel, whatever anger it is, honor those feelings. That's really emotional intelligence, is being present and accepting how you are in the moment, accepting how you're feeling, not judging that, oh, I'm a bad person because I feel anger, or I shouldn't feel anger, or I shouldn't feel resentment, or I shouldn't. No, you accept and just allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. And then once you do that, once you are in a space of being able to feel it and process it and release it, then and only then can you come to your partner, not from an emotional, I'm angry, rah, kind of place, or I'm sad or frustrated or any of that, because all he's going to feel or she's going to feel is this whoosh of emotion, energy coming. They're not going to be able to be present with your words, with your needs, with your vulnerability. So that's your own process to release inside of yourself, and then communicate to your partner, and do it in a way that's not, you need to change or I'm going to be happy. You need to do this, because that's not law of allowing.
And that's not telling your partner how you feel, right? I feel this way.
I would prefer this next time. I would enjoy this. You know what I would love? You know, that coming from that place. Now, if your partner really loves you, and coming from the place of just a playing field of you're on the same team. And what I do know is that Frederic always wants the best for me. Frederic always wants me to be happy. He wants to please me in whatever way that means. And so if I come to him with, you know, that's not good enough, and blame, and you're not doing it right, and criticism and judgment, he's going to be like, ugh, I can never do anything right. And it's going to deflate him. But if I'm coming to him saying, you know what, I really appreciate this. And next time, you know what I would love to do? What I would really, really love? I would love if we experienced this, or if we had this for dinner, or if we, then he's going to be like, yeah, he's going to hear me.
Right.
Yeah. So clear your own stuff and communicate. Communication is the biggest thing in relationships, and most of us don't learn how to communicate. That is one of the first tips that we always give, is come from the I that changed our relationship, not you did this, you have to do this because of you. It's not a if you would change, I'll be happy. You choose your own emotions. And you choose them regardless if your partner's being controlling, or if he's being allowing, or if he's being kind. You get to perceive how you want to and choose how you want to feel. And whether you're putting up a boundary saying, please don't talk to me in that way. That doesn't feel good to me. I don't feel good when that happens. And speaking and teaching your partner a new way to treat you, because we do teach people how to treat us, especially if we've been in a relationship or a partnership for a long period of time. That person's trained. So we have to retrain them of who we are now, what we expect now, what we want now, right?
And it's all part of the communication skills, again, that we've learned, and that you can also be a part of with us. So if you do wish to understand what are the proper communication skills in a loving way, in a very respectful way, come with us at connectedcoupling.com, and you'll be able to actually fill out a form and work with us.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them here and we'll get them. And remember, go to connectedcoupling.com. Wishing you all an amazing day.
Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.